Good day, YouTube. Today is Sunday, it's December 16th, 2018. Working on the 1982 Honda Urban Express. Earlier today, did a little video on the seat. So, seat's all redone, back on the bike. Right now, working on turn signals. So, you can see what I got going on here. So this bike came with turn signals from the factory. They were mounted in this location on a stem that stuck out about this far. And then they were these plastic looking turn signals that obviously had a whole lens on it. I couldn't restore these to even make a bulb flash. They were so rusty on the inside. And this is after a lot of effort to try to restore them. And then I realized that just a replacement lens for this old beat up thing is like 25 bucks, which means I didn't even have two front ones. And then to restore the back two, I was going to have somewhere around a couple $100 in turn signals, and that's not going to happen. You just can't keep spending like $200 on exhaust and $200 on turn signals on a bike you paid $250 for. So, not going to happen. We'll come up with something else. Found these set of 4 LED ambers for $17 shipped for the whole set of 4. Somebody had cut off the stems I was just mentioning with a saw. Just cut them off. Because, I mean, look, they put a knobby tire on the back of this thing. They were trying to make a dirt bike out of a scooter. Some people. They probably could have sold this and got a little dirt bike or something. But people don't always think about that. So I took a piece of like 1 by 2.5 square tubing or whatever that is. Cut a little chunk off of it so it's hollow top and bottom, but has a face on it, if you will. And I screwed those to the fork, put a hole in them, and bolted the LED turn signals to them with a nut on the inside. Wire just comes into the headlight bucket like it's supposed to, and got one on the left and the right. Always a trick when you take something that had incandescent bulbs in it and switch it over to LEDs. The flashers no longer work because they're not designed to. Typically they're designed for the number of lamps that are on them, the amount of load, which heats up a bimetallic spring and makes the flasher function. So when you put LEDs on them, these don't work. I had an electronic flasher, which is that red unit there. So I pulled the oil tank thinking I had to. I mean, it's dirty in there anyway, I might as well clean it up. But anyway, the electronics are between the fuel tank and the oil tank. I don't think I really had to pull it. But let's get in there and clean it up anyway. You can hear it kind of clicking away in there. How I'm making these work for the moment is I took an incandescent bulb. You can see it barely flashing. It's actually flashing the other side, not the side that I have this bulb hooked to right now. It's flashing the other side. It needs to have resistance on both sides to have both sides function properly. Right now, we've just got left side flashing. That one is just sitting there as a demonstration. I haven't even taken the old one off yet. So this is what it's taken to get these mounted. Showed you the front mounts. Here's the rear mounts. This was stock. This used to be flat. I heated it up with a torch and bent it at a 90-degree angle. Drilled a hole in it and then slid. This was the stem that came on that turn signal. Probably goes about as far as to my thumb. And then they're rubber mounted. So this stem goes inside this rubber piece about yay far, and then there's something in here that is bonded to this rubber piece, leaving 1/4 or 3/8 of an inch of rubber right in the middle for this to be wiggly, so you don't break them off as easy. So again, I just bent this piece over, and then to hold it in there, my brother-in-law was here. We were kicking around ideas, and he actually suggested while I drill and tap it, put a screw in there. Obviously, this is obnoxiously long. I'll get a 832, like a set screw, and replace that. But everything's kind of in mock-up mode right now anyway. So 832 set screw, and then that basically just holds it in there. So if I ever need to pull it out, back the set screw out and pull it out. The wires are pulled into this tube and then make up underneath the fuel tank area. So how am I going to make these things flash without dangling an incandescent light bulb or mounting more incandescent light bulbs on the outside, just cluttering things up? What I did, and I guess we'll see if it works, I put my ohm meter on that light bulb. It's about 5 ohms. So I went online and ordered some 5 ohm, 5 watt resistors. I think I ordered 10. Then, because I might need them for another project or two. And I think I'll put both of them, because the wires originate in the headlight bucket. I'll put the 5 watt, 5 ohm resistors, one of them on the left side, one on the right side, turn signal, and they'll be housed neatly, carefully, and safely in the headlight bucket. That should put enough load on the system to keep the flasher flashing. And if I actually move this to the other side, both will flash. It's carrying through the left side. If I move that light that's down there to the other side right now, then it'll work properly. Right now I only have one light connected, and I have it on the left side turn signal. You can see that it's flashing full brightness now when it was really dim a minute ago, and then all 4 LEDs are going, and it's going a little faster because there's a little more load on the flasher. So we'll see what happens when I get the 5 ohm, 5 watt resistors installed. Hopefully they'll be here by next weekend. I still haven't ordered the tires for this yet. There was one of the websites that escapes me. I've had 2 tires, 2 tubes, and 2 rim liners for like $100. I wanted to order them, but they were out of a rim liner last weekend. Hopefully they have them by this weekend. I can get those ordered. So anyway, not a ton of progress this weekend. It's just kind of a mini update. I'm just going to fiddle around and get the other turn signal mounted and get the taillight stuff back bolted up so I don't get too much taken apart on this thing. And just kind of be methodical and take it apart, fix it, make things work, put it back together, make a list of things that I need, like those little 832 set screws. And then what's next? Have the speedometer apart here. It was froze. The cable was broken. This was a piece of cable that came out. But I put some WD-40 in there. I let it soak for a while. Then I worked with this a little bit. It didn't take too much. We got the speedometer freed up and working properly. I took it apart, took the bulb out, and it is burned out. This is the backlight bulb for the speedometer, if I can get that out with one hand. Darndest little thing you ever seen. I looked up the Honda part number, then I did a Google search on the part number, because Honda wanted $9 for the bulb plus shipping. I found on eBay a package of 10 of these bulbs for $10 shipped. So I now have 10 of these. They have arrived, so I can replace this bulb and put it back in, and it'll be properly backlit speedometer for the Urban Express. So not only will it work, you can see it at night. What else? I was unsuccessful last week buying a rear brake cable. This has just hand brakes, front and rear. And the cable on the left side is the rear brake. And I put a note on a Facebook groups page for the Honda Express and Urban Express. And I probably said this in another video. A lady named Teresa, I believe, responded and said, call this number tomorrow. I did. It was her husband's motorcycle wrecking yard in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He went out and found a cable on a Urban Express that he has in the yard. It was frozen. He said, but you're in luck. He's been building cables for 40 years. So he has built me a cable. Supposedly it was shipped out last Monday. I just haven't seen it yet. So hopefully any day that cable shows up and I can put the brakes back together on the rear, that'd be good. And then we'll sort out the tires. Get those coming. I did order spokes for the rear wheel. I think I counted 3 or 4 of these were broken. I ordered 5. So there are missing spokes, a few of them actually. And one is currently broken. You can see the knobby tire on this thing. Somebody's obviously abused this thing. They were jumping it. There's another missing spoke. And along in here somewhere is one that's currently busted. So we'll get to, if you've never replaced this spoke before, we'll definitely make a video for that. This thing's still pretty dirty. I've got in there with a screwdriver and scraper and got most of the big stuff off. But I think before we put the oil tank back in, we'll try and get this thing degreased a little more. Maybe haul it down to the car wash and get the high pressure hose after it and see if we can get most of that gunk and dirt off of there. I'll cap off the oil injector so we don't get anything in there. Full tank of oil, which I'll probably have to drain. I've got a nasty thing sitting over here because the hoses on it are definitely seen better days. We'll figure that out. Some of it's probably reusable and some of it is probably not. So, new headlight is on its way. It isn't here yet. As all the hardware to install the headlight, which just made a very expensive headlight more expensive once you buy all the hardware. I haven't got the horn button to work or the horn to work. I'm not sure if I'm going to go any farther with that. It won't be perfect. Don't know what its future is. I do not have a title for it. I'm throwing a lot of money and time at something I can't ride on the road yet. And I'm not sure in the state of Oregon how much of a pain in the butt that's going to be. But I might try to find out for both this and the Honda CT70 project I'm working on. So they're just projects for me until they're done. Then we figure out what we do with them. I think that'll wrap this project up for today. We got seat done. We got turn signals sort of functioning. We got it kind of sorted out. And just want to get any other parts coming that it needs. So next 2 weekends are 4-day. Next 2 weekends are 4-day weekends. So I need lots of parts because I got lots of time, and this is what I like to do when I have the time. And besides making a mess, we kind of get stuff fixed up. So I appreciate you guys watching, commenting, and subscribing. Little update on the Urban Express project, and we'll see what we work on for the next video. We're either going to work on this. Still need to make a phone call about carburetor for the Mitsubishi 125cc overhead valve Silver Pigeon scooter sitting over here on the lift. My idea is to put a Mikuni carburetor on it. I'd like to find like an intake manifold that would bolt to the Mikuni carburetor that I could then adapt to the intake manifold on this engine, which resembles a 1-inch outside dimension piece of pipe. It actually clamped on. There's no bolt-on flange. So I got to figure that out. Hoping maybe like the boys at GoPowersports.com will help me out with some information, and we'll go from there. So the next video will be either we have more parts for the Urban Express and we'll continue on it, or we'll pop it off the lift and put the CT70 up, and a tremendous amount of parts for that. I think everything I've ordered is here. It's just a matter of starting in on that. restoration completion, I guess we'll call it. So thanks again, guys. Hit the like button, please, and we'll catch you on the next video.